Hi, welcome. This is Sandy from Real Progressives and Claudia Stauber here for the kickoff of the What the Fuck Happened book tour. And I'm going to turn it over to another extraordinary activist named Brian. And his name is Brian Nowak. And those of you who follow me on Real Progressives have seen his interview with me. So I want to stay behind the camera tonight. And here we go. Brian?
How's everybody doing? I guess to start off, just want to say that in the last day or two I had to do a little bit of reading to learn about who Claudia was, because I'm on social media a lot, but some things, some people I don't come across, and what I found out, what I watched was great. One of the great things about the Sanders campaign was that a lot of people got onto social media and started spreading the word of the campaign and connecting people. And regardless of what things were going like on the ground on a day-for-day basis, it was great to see people that were streaming, getting the word out. And from what I see, Claudia was one of those people that was doing that. Here, the work that the year that we were doing work on the ground, you would hear people talk about, the need to knock on doors and to make phone calls, and we have to raise some money and do this and that. And there was some cynicism from people that were more traditionally minded to running political campaigns to say, hey, it's social media, man, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. It's not real work. The Sanders campaign got built on social media. It connected people all over the country. And at least in the case of New York State, speaking to the organization that I was part of here, we used Facebook, Twitter, to lead petition efforts to get people on the ballot, and using Facebook to get 87,000 signatures for a presidential candidate. And we did that, So don't discount the power of social media ever. Of course, you need to meet people in person, in the flesh, but Facebook, Twitter, all these other things are very important, and don't ever let anybody tell you that it's a waste of time. Before I introduce Claudia formally, I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on the ground here in Buffalo, because I see some new faces and some familiar ones too. I was one of the people that was leading the Bernie Sanders effort here in Buffalo to get Bernie on the ballot. We had a local group that was doing door-to-door work and spreading the word for Bernie Sanders during the primary season. And of the people that were involved in that local effort, once the nomination was given to Clinton, a number of them got discouraged and went home. A few of them went to work on the Clinton campaign, and there's a chunk of people that that are supportive of Jill Stein, that want to see an independent alternative to the two major party candidates. So one of the things that I'm working on with other local supporters is to build a political club of people that are left of center and get them involved in the political process. Make sure that they're registering voters, that they're seeking candidates that are progressively minded, whether they're Democrats, independent candidates, people in the Green Party, on the local level and on the state level, and to start supporting these people in a real way to help them get to office. Because there's a lot of talk about the challenges of breaking out to the two-party system. You can't run an independent presidential candidate right out of the gate and win immediately. Sometimes these independent campaigns are issues campaigns. Look to Eugene Debs. He got 6% of the vote in, I think it was 1912. But he ran on Social Security, direct election of senators, 40-hour work week, labor law reforms. Nearly all of Debs' platform in 1912, mainstream issues in mainstream platforms in the Democratic Party now. This is the Socialist Party platform. It was absorbed into the Democratic Party from the 1930s up till now. So it's important to run independent candidates to get the issues out there, I think, on the federal level. But on the state and local level, these independent candidates can win. These are, if you find the right people to run for town council, for mayor, dog catcher, local offices, and you can build a core around these people, raise a little bit of money, be effectively organized, you can challenge the power of Democrats and Republicans and get some real wins. So I'm hoping that the new faces that I see here, once approach me or Jamie or Sandy and get some information on our group. It's called Liberty Union Progressives. We plan on being active all over Erie County. We would love to have as many new members as we can accommodate. We just want to expand, and once the 2018 races come up, we want to be in a position where we can tap into a network of over 1,000 members, raise a lot of money through a lot of small contributions, get an army of people on the ground to support these candidates, to knock on doors, get ballot access, and spread the word. So a lot of what I'm talking about is on the political and electoral side of things. What Claudia will be talking about, I'm sure, will be more, issues-oriented and activist-oriented, What's that?
Say your name again.
Oh, my name is Brian Nowak.
Okay.
So, got to do that, huh? So, where my mind is on electoral politics and the political side of things. And you get political power, why? You want to get the issues that are on your agenda addressed. But when it comes to issues, I'll hand it over to you in just a moment. All the issues that were in the Bernie campaign and the issues that Jill Stein is bringing up, and all the issues that the progressive movement, the left movement is bringing up, on the federal level right now, we don't have a strong enough voice for that. We need to keep recruiting people and bringing people into the movement and using social media to spread the word for Jill. So we have a stronger voice for that. And a good showing for Jill Stein in 2016 will motivate people, I think, to come out 4 years from now and work for these causes. A good showing for Jill Stein can get real progress on the issues in her campaign, even if your candidate doesn't win necessarily, like we saw with Bernie. It's important to run the campaign to get the issues addressed. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to you, Claudia.
Oh, thank you, Brian, very much.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Hi, Claudia.
Hi, everybody. So I'm here today. This is my first stop, and I feel like the first rally I ever saw from Bernie was actually, there were about 15 people. So I think this is good. We have like 10 people. So yay! I'm really super excited about that.
A little
swap. Yeah.
Of the coffee shop, and everybody could say hi and peace, and I bet we're going to have some more people come on in as the night goes on, but we're getting lots of hearts, so I guess it was cool. Hey, there we go. Okay, thank you, Claudia, for letting me do
you're
that.
You're welcome. And so yesterday I was in Middlebury, Vermont, and I saw Bernie. He gave a speech, and I was super grateful that he didn't even mention the word Hillary. And I think that was really important, because he would have been booed even in Vermont. It wouldn't have happened. One of the reasons I'm traveling around the country is, of course, because I wrote the book, and everybody knows the title, What the Frack Happened?
There's a new book.
What the frack happened? And No Time to Build a Goat Shed. And I know people were thinking, why that title? And Jill and Brian know why, because they come to my place. I'm trying to build a farm animal sanctuary, and I wanted to build a barn this summer, and there was no time to build a goat shed. So that's why the title. The reason I wrote that book is because I was utterly disturbed by Hillary getting the nomination. And I say getting the nomination because she certainly, we all know, did not win the nomination. That would be an absolute, I cannot get that over my lips that she actually won the elections. That's never, I just can't say that. So she got the nomination, she stole the nomination. Election fraud was rampant in every state, including New York, where we all know she threw so many off the voting rolls, and it was devastating to me, and I needed to do more. I needed to do more than live stream. I needed to get the word out about the issues that Bernie is always talking about. which starts with Citizens United getting money out of politics, which if money stays in politics, it's all worth for nothing. And another issue that is really, really important to me is to actually have every vote counted. It doesn't even matter to me at this point who you vote for. I want that every vote that a person casts actually gets counted. And my friend Tambourine just reminded me to mention Election Justice USA. They are trying to get leaders in every state, and maybe Brian, you'll spearhead that operation. On September 27th, we're trying in this country because we have the paperwork ready to go, so the legislators can actually enact pretty much right there on the spot hand-counted paper ballots. And without a paper trail at this point in this country, there are no elections because the computers are rigged, and it's just, votes get thrown out, and we need accountability, and we need something that we can go back to. We stop
Okay.
and once
We're back.
back in business. All right.
We
So
lost
what I'm
them.
saying
Oh, no.
is we need to put pressure on the legislators in every state house to sign that paperwork. It has been done in different districts already. It has been done in a couple states, but we need it all over the country. We really do. Because, and the state legislators that are not willing to sign it, that's a bad sign for them right there on the spot. So they really need to be pressured. And I think that is what this movement has shown everybody, that, and Bernie says that over and over and over again, that if we all come together, that is really the only way we can save this country. Because right now, there are laws being enacted that are not beneficial to this country, not beneficial to normal people. They're beneficial to about 150 people in the world, but not to the rest of the world. And we need to really change that. And the only way it changes is that people really start being very involved. And people say, well, I'm not into politics. I'm not interested in politics. And I go, well, are you interested in having water and air to breathe and food that isn't completely GMO infested, that we still have farms and small businesses? If you ever want to start a business, don't you want to have, the ability to do that and not be squished by corporate America? I mean, that we're here in this beautiful coffee shop is amazing, because there's a Starbucks I saw like 3 blocks down the road. And it shouldn't be like that. We should have lots of little businesses that people own. And so I think it's really important, because we will have less and less and less. And we can't have that happen. And we really need to get engaged. And I really don't care, who anybody votes for anymore. We need to get out the vote again. And Bernie would say that too. I mean, it doesn't matter who you vote for. Vote, get engaged, be informed. And we need to be informed what candidates stand for. I mean, we know Trump doesn't stand for anything. He stands for whatever the wind blows his way, so that doesn't matter. Hillary is pretty much the same. She stands for whatever the wind blows her direction. I mean, if the TPP is unpopular, she's against it. If it's popular, she's for it. Same with gay marriage, same with black people, with racism. I mean, she is, same with deportation of people, that are not citizens yet. So she's, whatever the wind blows, she'll go with. Gary Johnson, people look at as a libertarian, but he's for the TPP, which in my eyes right there disqualifies him as a candidate. And the Koch brothers said they would foot the bill for him. So it's a bad choice, because he's just an extension of the Republican Party. And as long as people are beholden to big money, they will not be able to actually vote their conscience. They will vote the money interest. And we need to stop that. We really need to stop that. And that's why overturning Citizens United is such a big thing, but we really need to fight for that. They're not going to give that up easily. They fought to get it. So now they are, we need to be in the streets. And one of those dates is October 23rd. You guys might have to extend your trip. October 23rd in DC, there is a big rally, and it's really thousands of people have already signed up. And it's all about taking back democracy, because I really think we need to occupy DC, we literally need to be there and need to stand up and say, this is, or in Bernie's word, enough is enough, you know?
Claudia, I have a question on that.
Sure.
Are there organizations that are grassroots local organizations that cannot make it to DC that
Yes.
perhaps will start like in Buffalo?
Yes,
maybe
I agree.
doing the same thing?
Yes, I agree. And I think people should really pay attention to what, like the one in DC is called Take Back Democracy.
Okay.
I think people should really, if they can't go to DC, go to your local state house. Go there and say, you know, we will no longer support, we will no longer vote for candidates that take money from big interests. We just will no longer vote for you. We will pay attention. We're going to get informed. We're going to really be out there and looking what is truly a platform, and we will broadcast it. And in the meantime, about 50% of people get their news no longer from mainstream media. 50% of the people actually get their news online now, which is amazing, you know, because 5 years ago, it was like, you know, a couple percent. And now it's almost half the people get their news from online sources, different ones. In part, people like me who live stream, and even, you know, news
Real
sources that are real progressives. We have, you know, we have the Young Turks, which have been bombed, so that's a little sketchy. And but you know, Democracy Now, we have wonderful sources for news, and we really no longer depend on mainstream media, which I think is vital to democracy, because they have, and they are a chapter in my book, so there are about 20 chapters, and the media is one of those chapters because they have been so corrupted, so unbelievably corrupt in this whole election cycle. I mean, Trump has gotten, what, $2 billion worth of advertising free, you know. Hillary has gotten about $1 million, and Bernie had gotten like, what, a couple 100,000, you know, in free airtime. And so right there, you know, how rigged it is, but we have a grassroots movement, and we can be incredibly powerful. And if we wouldn't be powerful, they wouldn't try to start shutting us down, you know, which is happening. I mean, other people that are live streaming have been shut down, literally erased from the face of the earth. We don't even know whether the guy is dead or alive, you know, but it is happening. So if we wouldn't make a difference, they wouldn't even pay attention to us, you know. And I think that's what is so amazing, because what they did is they basically cut the head off by taking Bernie out. But what they didn't plan on is that he created so many new leaders, so many. I mean, thousands of new people all over the country that are now engaged, that are really taking the lead, that are organizing, like Brian, like you know. I mean, and all of us. I mean, we're like organizing, and we're going for Jill Stein, because Jill Stein carries Bernie's message and carries it even a step further, which I think is important. And we need to vote our conscience. I just could not get myself to stand behind Trump. I mean, I don't even know what to say about the man. It is almost like a comedy show, you know? I mean, it's just so weird. And I'm not afraid of Trump. And the reason being is, I believe that we will take back the House and the Senate, and he will not get anything done. And so Trump does not scare me as much as Hillary does. And I'm telling everybody right now, I never thought that would cross my lips, ever, you know? But I feel that Hillary is so unbelievably corrupt, and she will push through whatever agenda she has, no matter what the cost. And I do not believe that she will actually give Joe Schmo on the street anything in the end. She will not do that. Because when they were discussing the platform, the Democratic platform, she would make little teeny concessions, and the platform isn't even binding. So she can do, in the end, whatever she would want to. And that scares me more than anything. The wars scare me incredibly. And we all know that Hillary is an absolute warmonger, and that freaks me out. You know, she was always for the TPP. She said it was the gold standard. Now she's supposedly against it, but the people negotiating the platform were for it. So that tells you everything you need to know about that. And those two things, the TPP and wars. The TPP is an economical war. It's a corporate takeover of the world, not just this country. And it's only for multinational corporations beneficial. It's not for just a US corporation. It doesn't do anything for them. It's for multinational corporations, and they will have more power than any court in any of the countries that are part of that agreement. They will supersede the Supreme Court, and they can sue countries for projected lost profits, not for real lost profits. That has nothing to do with it. It is for projected lost profits. Like right now, they are suing Germany. The nuclear power companies are suing Germany for, I think, $2 billion because Germany, after Fukushima happened, decided they will no longer have nuclear power. And they now produce more solar energy than they can use themselves. So they're actually selling solar, and they're darker than Vermont. So Germany is not a state that is, lots of sunshine. Oh no, it rains a lot. I can tell you right now, it rains a lot. But they have, so they are suing Germany right now for billions of dollars for projected lost profits. Right now, since the TPP or TTIP or TISA, whatever you call it, isn't signed yet, they actually have to go through the court system. And right now it's more posturing than anything. But if the TPP would get signed, they can just go to Germany and say, you owe me $2 billion, or you let me put up nuclear power plants again. Those are your two choices, And the same with Vermont, we don't allow fracking. They can go, you either let us frack or you owe us some serious money, And that is just unbelievable to me. We cannot let that happen. I mean, prescription drugs would no longer have a cap, and their patents would be much longer. So what they can do is, people already can't afford their prescriptions. It would even be more expensive for them, and to get generic, cheaper versions would take even longer. And lives are truly at stake with that. It's really, really, really dangerous. And we cannot let that happen. And when Tom and I decided to go on this tour, at the same time, Obama decided he's going to stomp around the country, and he is going to support the TPP and lobby for the TPP around the country. And Tom said, so did you notice we're going to be up against the President of the United States? And I go, I'm not afraid of him. I'm not worried. We have the truth on our side, So we are really up against a big machine that wants to silence us. And I think that's just the thing we can't ever let happen. And so I'm going to talk for 2 minutes about the book. And people can buy it or not buy it, but I think it's worth reading. It has even pictures. So it has basically 20 different issues in there that I describe in a very short way. And it's anything from Citizens United to the TPP to Black Lives Matter to what happened to schools, what the fuck happened to the prison system, what the fuck happened to da-da-da-da. So I have 20 chapters, and I think it's a wonderful book because it does not promote any one candidate, although it is based on Bernie's issues for sure. But it promotes that people actually know about those subjects that they hear about, but really don't know what is really going on. Like the prison industry, that big companies like Walmart, like Starbucks, like Nintendo, they use prison labor, which is the new, basically, slave labor in this country. And that's how they make so much money. They don't have to, they pay like $1 a day and they get free labor. And it's the new slave labor in this country. And it just is so wrong. And people are in prison for non-violent crimes, and that should not be the case. So I think it's a wonderful book to hand to people that are not politically that engaged. It's semi-funny. It's definitely rated R. There's a lot of cussing because I would write exactly the way I speak, so there's no censoring. And so it's also, I was really pissed when I started writing it. And so there's a lot of there's a lot of information in it, but I think it's very great in a simple way. It's not like in a very intellectual, scholarly way. It's like you and I would talk. And that's what I wanted. I wanted people to understand. Yeah, we have a lot of volumes full on Citizens United and volumes on the prison system, and nobody reads the whole thing, but you can easily read 5 pages and have a basic understanding, and that's what I wanted. And I wanted it so people that are, whether they are Republican or Tea Party or Democrats or Green Party, it doesn't matter, because we have issues that we all need to rally around before we can attack anything else. We need to get elections that every vote is counted, that is above and beyond. We have to have that in place. We have to get money out of politics. If we don't have that, we are broken at a grassroots level. And the TPP and fracking are issues that I think everybody can stand behind, no matter what your party affiliation is. And once we solve those problems, combined, all of us, 99.9999%ers, then we can start fighting about, healthcare. We can start fighting about the school system. We can start fighting about other issues, gay marriage, abortion, whatever the issue is. But we first need to absolutely, all of us, unite to solve the main problems and not get divided over the secondary problems, which are really the ones that divide us. And the other ones all unite us, because we are really, it's like 150 people against the rest of the world, and that is what we need to focus on. So I appreciate you all coming. That was my first time I said all those things, and I really appreciate you here, and I hope you will enjoy the book. And if not, don't tell me. And if not, don't tell anybody else either. That's more important. Well, maybe tell me.
Claudia, I do have a question from Kim
Yep.
Centeno, and she wants to know, is the book for ordering, is it info on your page?
Yes, so the book is available on my website, which is claudiastauber.com, and we'll put the link on there maybe afterwards, Sandy.
Okay.
And the way I did it is, if you buy one book, it's $10. If you buy 2 books, it's less. If you buy 5 books, it's less. If you buy 10 books, it's $50. I think it's $50 or $55 if you buy 10 books, which is pretty much my cost. But I wanted people to be able to give them to relatives, to the guy on the street, to whoever they want to, and it's basically not much more than a coffee latte, at this point. And so I wanted it to be something that people can actually give to other people at a very low cost, and hopefully make a difference and wake people up, and have it also as sort of a conversation starter where you go, I mean, the title is very catching, so I think that'll get people's attention to some degree. And so this way, it's more affordable. The more you order, the more affordable it gets.
Want to do some questions and answers?
Sure.
Does anybody have any questions for Claudia? I'm going to go this way. Anybody have any questions? We can all answer. We can have a discussion.
Is there an exit clause for the TPP?
That's a good question.
Oh yeah.
No, the TPP is the only treaty that has ever been proposed that does not have an expiration date or an exit clause, which makes it so dangerous. Because all other trade agreements or treaties have some kind of expiration date to reevaluate and then go over it again, but this one doesn't. So once it's signed, it's actually indefinite. And I find that also it's a global corporate takeover, and it's beyond terrifying, because it really would, oh, somebody gets a pizza. It would obliterate also any animal rights that we have fought for, any environmental rights that we have fought for, over time, like ban fracking in certain places, or not